Arthur's here. Arthur, how are you?
Flying, how are you?
Yeah, good. And Colm, how are you?
Hiya, Ger.
In the end,
It doesn't really matter.
no one will
Score
remember
on the
this,
day.
right? Well, I think they will.
The most beautiful defeat you'll ever have. It's the first time Abby Larkin's ever attempted a chip or a dink. What a time to make your debut.
Yeah. Very impressive performance from the Irish manager in particular. Right?
See
Massively
that
so.
second half coming at all.
Brilliant. It was brilliant. We had Sue Ronan, former Ireland manager, of course, and Kathleen on Friday morning. And we were talking about what is Carla Ward's team? What is the philosophy, if you want to call it? What is her Republic of Ireland side? And we had no answers. And after this tie, it feels an awful lot better. But her record's actually really good on paper. I think they've won 7 of their 8 games. It was just that Slovenia debacle, the 4-0 reverse, which is what that second game in charge. Last night was remarkable because Tessa Woolard, a legend of the game, her 96 and 97th goals for Belgium last night.
a pretty good record.
The Inter striker. Like those 2 Belgium goals, like the first goal, you'll struggle to see a better team goal all season. Ripped Ireland apart. And they were targeting Ireland's right hand side in the first half repeatedly and getting great joy from it. And her second goal, she took full advantage of Caitlin Hayes' botched clearance. Beautiful chip. I thought it was done. Thought half time was a brief reprieve from the beating that would occur in the second half. Far from it. Ireland were miles better in the second half, just like they were in the first 20 minutes of the game.
An amazing result. They were, it was, because it had that feel to it.
They
way
could
that had
have
gone.
been collapsing.
Oh, like it looked like I would have given you
4-0.
any
More
money.
likely
It's like,
than-
geez, this is a real humbling.
Yeah.
That's the direction it was heading in. But it was kind of, you're getting to the 60, 70, 80 minutes. You're like, they've not really relented control here at all.
Afterwards, Carla Ward said they didn't talk about the goals at half time. They just recalibrated a bit, which is interesting, right? That, like, how much impact can you have at half time, really? I don't know. There's studies being done about it. But by not focusing on the horrific mistake, maybe that's there's wisdom there.
It was, but like it did play that way, because I suppose, if you can get yourself into the frame of mind where you're like, we just have to win this half of football.
Yeah.
Then it
Oh,
probably,
that's it. But if that's true, that's actually what happens. The objectivity of it is so impressive. Because even when they went 2-0 down on the night in the first half, Kira Crusoe won a free kick about 30 yards out. And before the game, to celebrate Katie McCabe's 100th Ireland cap, they were showing her best bits. One of which was her free for Raheny United at the Aviva, which is about 35, possibly 40 yards out back in the day into the top corner. And when Crusoe won this free, it was slightly on the right hand side, which favoured the left footer. Was this McCabe time?
Well, they mentioned it.
But Rusa Littlejohn took it.
Yeah.
And kind of just floated it gently over the bar. She was hooked at half time. And Anna Patton came on slightly out of position in midfield and was brilliant in midfield. And then the other sub, Abby Larkin, won the game, or won the tie. So even the decision for Littlejohn taking instead of McCabe, I thought, they're folding here, they're going to collapse. And I thought, it could be a Slovenia again, albeit better opposition, but it could be a repeat scoreline. I don't know where that second half came from. It started with Emily Murphy nearly scoring when Marissa Shiva gave the ball. The keeper made a great save. Then she played a 1-2 with Cruz, had another shot, Shiva. Do you know what it was? It was a confident.
Yeah.
It was a confident display in the second half. They were well in control.
You'd be really hopeful. Like, I think afterwards as well, she was saying, Carla Ward was saying, hopefully we get 3 absolutely massive nations. And maybe that's the right thing to do. It's like, get like 3 of the best teams in Europe and learn how to play against them. And maybe there's been a period there where we were bad and we're getting back to a period where we might be a little bit better. So obviously what this means, Division 1, League A, whatever it's called.
Yeah, League A.
And
Guaranteed playoff.
that's the real prize here. Is the guaranteed player for the World Cup in Brazil.
No matter how you get on in the qualifiers to the World Cup. Huge reward.
Yeah.
And to continue the confidence, Carla Ward wants her native England. She wants that in the draw. The draw's Friday week.
Suddenly it's interesting.
Massively. Because there was genuine concern of apathy as recently as Friday morning.
Oh yeah, I think.
Do you know what I mean? There was 15,000 tickets were sold by Friday morning for the Aviva Stadium for the first leg. Now it looked decent enough on TV watching. It didn't look like the worst atmosphere of all time by any means. However, the Belgian press conference for the manager, did you see this? In the eve of the game had to be cancelled because Belgium didn't send anyone over for the game to cover it. So they were having the same issues as us. And we were talking about, what is this Carla Ward side? Now, what's the opposite of recency bias? It had been a long time since we'd seen Ireland play, so I think they were out of sight, out of mind. The national side, so it's like, oh yeah, this is come upon us. But they certainly didn't feel any of that. They were razor sharp focused. You'd have to say over the tie. The second half of the first half was the only time they played really poorly, Ireland.
Yeah.
In 4 halves of football. To play only really badly, truly badly for one half of those 4 halves. It's a pretty good return. Against a side who were 7 places ahead of you in the FIFA rankings. Against a side who did qualify for the Euros. Who have mixed results, but they can also beat superior sides. Thought we were well out of the game at half time. Different story in the second half. Love to know where that came from.
That is the front cover of the Irish Sun this morning. She's the special ton. Dad hails ace as milestone hit. Kenny McCabe's dad, proud after he makes 100 caps. There is something happening when the women's football team are the lead story in the front of the Sun this morning. Will I do some of the other headlines?
Yeah.
There's an interesting mix of stories here before we get to... sorry, we should have mentioned Brian Barry Murphy in the quarterfinals of the League Cup.
Yeah.
Beating Wrexham in an all-Wales derby.
Huge. The draw will be made soon.
Tonight.
2012 on the cards.
Tonight, yeah. Brentford picked a pretty strong team. They beat Grimsby 5-0. Slayers of Man United, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. They made 9 changes, I think. I suppose it's a strong squad depth they have, isn't it? Like Fabio Carvalho. Do you remember when he was promising at Liverpool? He scored, I think, their 4th of 5 goals last night.
I did not know he was at Brentford.
Yeah, I think they signed they spent a pretty penny on him, if I recall, for Brentford. And Nathan Collins got the 5th.
So Collins obviously comes off the bench, does he? Or I didn't see. Sorry, I should have asked you this before we came on air. But it just with Collins scoring, I'm like, well, obviously he's in their first team.
Yeah.
So they were taking it seriously.
I suppose they may as well.
No, he came on. He came on for Sepp van den Berg, another former Liverpool graduate.
O'Neill returns and insists Bren was great. Bust up won't taint his legacy. So Martin O'Neill has said, like, this is totally temporary. Don't worry, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time.
He did repeatedly say that when Jim White got him on the phone yesterday on TalkSport. Did you see that?
I heard about it.
He
I
said,
saw the press conference afterwards where he repeated the same line verbatim.
which was
This is temporary. There'll be a young manager in soon.
young manager.
Yeah.
He said that. He kept saying young manager. Yeah.
So I wondered, has he been told that Kieran McKenna is the chosen one? Because McKenna is linked heavily in the papers. McKenna is admired by Parkhead power brokers and likely to come under serious consideration. He's 39, from Fermanagh, another Irish manager there. 6 million was what it would cost to get him and his team out. 6 million to get Kieran. Boys will have to fork out huge fee to land Ipswich boss and his backroom team as replacement for us. What do you think?
How big's the team?
Well, it's the contract. It's like he's under contract.
What's he getting paid?
Don't know, $1 million a year?
Good God.
$1.5 million a year?
Negotiate himself a good deal there.
There's a load of GPA stories, and it's just trying to tie them all together. GPA chief Tom Parsons reckons improving the lot of inter-county players could make them think twice about leaving for Australia. I suppose, what else are you going to say, really? If we're losing 40 of our highest profile female Gaelic Games athletes that young people see playing, and those role models are then taken out of our system, it's a huge blow for Gaelic Games. It's particularly bad, I guess, for the LGFA, or it's particularly good for the LGFA. It's like, if you want to be a professional athlete, play Gaelic football, be really good at it, and then you can use that as a stepping stone to go to Australia. I would,
I don't think that's going to be their mission statement, to be fair.
No, but like it's the truth, right?
Yeah.
With this whole, it's bad for us that people are having a good time and succeeding in life. That always felt a little bit like... Talking to somebody involved in Irish soccer 20 years ago, complaining about the young women who were good getting hoovered up by the college system in America. I'm like, well, it's amazing. They're getting scholarships to go and play football. It's incredible. It's like, it's a drain on our talent. Like, people, if you manage it properly, they'll come back. Mm-hmm. We know how important role models are for kids to go into games, to want to go to games. We can only imagine how many kids are pulling out of their parents to go and see David Clifford play. We have amazing female players that had that same pull in Mayo as an example, and they're all in Australia. But I don't know. I think we just need to be careful about demonising people for following their dreams.
Yeah. It's an interesting one.
The only thing you can do is sign a guaranteed contract that you will return.
Which, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen either.
To basically go on loan to Australia.
Yeah.
Like if Kobe does it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like Carlos Tevez style 2-year loan deal. In his case, of course, he went back to his third party, no club.
Getting Kieran will cost you, boys. Celtic will have to fork out more than 5 million, it says here in the Mirror. So they've negotiated, 6 million euros, sorry, 5 million pounds. Raise your game. Heskey, Emil Heskey says, he's like, you're not trying a leg, buddy.
All right.
I must be like, what? You think I'm not trying a leg?
He had a very good career.
Heskey.
Don't be coming again. He also went to Liverpool for big money.
I think work rate was one of his better.
13 million or
It
something.
was terrible.
What?
Oh no!
You're joking me.
I'm sorry.
He often falls into that trap of people thinking he was terrible. No.
You're crucially misremembering his career.
When he was at Leicester, right? There's a reason Liverpool paid him.
Unplayable at Leicester for about 6
when
weeks.
Liverpool won the treble in 2001, Heskey was crucial.
It's unbelievable.
He kept Fowler out of the team.
Starting for England.
Caused Fowler to be sold.
He was starting for England.
Because a manager makes a bad decision and picks a bad player over a good player.
What are you talking about, a bad player?
With Heskey up front.
They won the treble, the Houllier treble, that one.
That's a scandal.
Joy and pain, England leads past Aussies, but Eurostar Agumang is forced off on stretch. That's the London Independent. Up with the Lark, the Abby Larkin story. There was a reason I was doing this, because there was something good. Tony Pulis has got a new column. BBC have been like, whoa.
Oh.
So, and Pulis is like, ha 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 ha. I remember Arsene Wenger used to accuse me of playing rugby. Oh, look at my... Arteta doesn't care what people think, just like I didn't care when everybody was saying this, particularly the Arsenal fans giving me a hard time.
You have it. Yeah. You have it, yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Pep Guardiola, I don't know where he's done this interview. Is it just a pre-match press conference? But it's carried in the back of the Mail today. Every manager does what they believe. I want to score from free kicks and corners. I'm not naive to that. I want it. But I spend my time on what we have to do to play better, attack better, and create chances to score goals. I will, until the end, continue to work. The end is near. Today, set pieces are a threat. I remember a long time ago, Sean Dyche and Burnley. Burnley were an incredible threat in the long balls, second balls. Dyche is one of the best by far doing these things. It's not new. He did it before. Sam Allardyce. Or do you remember Stoke City when they made the throws? Now it's just more and more teams doing that. Back then, maybe Stoke was the exception. What was Pep doing when Rory Delap was doing the long throw? Was he still at Barcelona? Was he in Udinese? It's that long ago, isn't it? I'm not misremembering this.
It was the late noughties, wasn't it? Mid to late noughties?
Yeah, no, they would have actually been on opposite ends of the axis of football.
So he was already at Barcelona.
No, because a cold Tuesday night in Stoke was what, and we'll talk about Messi, was at Barcelona under Pep, which would have been Rory Delap throwing the ball at your head.
Yeah, so he was at Barcelona as a manager then.
He was at Barcelona from 2008. That's when he started as a manager.
And Rory Delap, Stoke.
Delap was at Stoke from 6 to 13.
That's 100%. This is where it all came
So
from.
Pep is preparing for the Classico and sticking it to Jose. Greatest, beautiful performance of all time. And he's got one eye on going, oh, look at Stoke. What are they doing? What's that? Look at that. Look at that. What's happening over there? And he's remembering it now.
It's
15 years later.
There's no great memory needed. Like, that's a good broad.
He's remembered because of that saying, I guarantee, that's thrown around all the time.
Everyone. I'd be interested in how much of Tony Pulis' Stoke he was watching.
Well, I'm just saying, he's a football historian. He was aware of what was going on. And now, 20 years later, he's still rejecting it.
He's an obsessive.
I'm not doing this. I'm going to die doing what
he doesn't have the players to do it. He'd have to change his whole fucking squad.
What a team of giants.
He may well have
giants.
remembered him, because there would have been a middle section of football at that time that he'd have no interest in. But Stoke was so the opposite of what he wanted to do. He probably was aware of what they were doing. It's so far away. It's a different sport. It's Shane Downing from outfield to in goal. It's different.
What's the point of what he's saying? What's he talking about?
He's just saying that essentially he's going to continue doing. He's not neglecting set pieces. Everybody, just cool your jets there, City fans who want Mikel Arteta to replace me. The ball and play stats. Have you seen that? Was that in this piece or something somewhere else? Goals are down. The ball and play is down to 55 minutes. It's like this is the worst football we've seen in decades. Is it though?
No, I don't think so. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm kind of having. It's all a bit of crack, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it was like people like 4 weeks ago saying the Premier League was dull, and since then there've been great weekends.
I've enjoyed it immensely. I don't know.
It's good. You can't call.
You say people, you mean you, right? You were.
No,
you were saying that.
I was in the room, but it wasn't me.
Who was saying it? Were you
Vinny
just
Perth.
A lot of people were saying stuff.
All right.
Vinny Perth.
Yeah, no, he did. He said he switched off.
He fell asleep watching the
Fell
game.
asleep watching Arsenal Liverpool or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't a great game.
The
But
season's average of 2.6 goals per game is the lowest since 2017. The ball doesn't play for just over 55 minutes a match. Now, that's kind of Serie A levels when we were watching. They used to put those stats up and it would always be like, well, the ball's only going to play for 20 minutes. What's going on here? I just think, so for me, the Pep thing that was interesting was, I will, until the end, continue to work. I think Pep is getting slowly drained of life by just this, like...
Well, he's just been passed out. So it's like he doesn't like it.
Other passed out by the history of football.
No,
Is he Jonathan Wilson's theory yesterday of, everyone has a shelf life,
Yeah.
Brendan Rodgers' point where, because Brendan Rodgers dresses like a manager did 10 years ago.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
With the suits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's wearing suits anymore.
It's a wonderful point.
Was he not in a tracksuit recently enough for...
I don't think so. Every time I see him, he's in that grey
Does Hertzler not wear...
suit
Oh,
with the Celtic tie.
Celtic tie doesn't look great, does it? It looks like I'm going to the funeral of a club official
It's very Moisey.
as opposed to...
Moisey doesn't wear a suit, I don't think, anymore. I think he's
Moisey-
tracky.
No, I think so, yeah.
Moisey in the frame for the Celtic job?
I was thinking that when the push
He
notification came
can't.
through.
He's not leaving where he is.
This is the Lampard
Christ.
Coventry thing, right?
Well-
So you leave Everton to go to Celtic.
They were booed off the weekend,
Do you
Has Moyes
go-
done the job at Everton that he
I
was
think
supposed to do?
it's
Get them into the new stadium.
It's
And
very hard to leave a job when it's going badly. You need to leave it when it's going well.
the stench follows you around. Is that what you're saying?
Possibly. Depends what you do with the stench, You can turn it into something.
We were talking about the Celtic job yesterday, right, with Tom English of the BBC. And I mentioned the odds. And
Yeah.
Ciara McKenna, Big Ange, not taking phone calls just yet. And I mentioned Robbie Keane and Damien Duffer also. There were prices quoted for them. And the Herald say Robbie is in the frame for the job at Celtic. This is Jason Burt's piece. Now, I think mostly it's focused on Ciara McKenna and Ange. But I don't know. Robbie, there's a great piece by John Fallon today just talking about Dermot Desmond, not a man to be crossed. And he's got great details. Dermot Desmond was born in Mallow, lived there until he was 6 and then moved to Dublin. Macroom in County Cork. Made him their first free man in 1998, even though he was only 6 when he left.
6 at the time.
And also the role that he'd played in helping to refinance the debt that the FAI have. Buying Celtic for 10 million in 99. Obviously his friendship with Ferguson, which actually gave him the link to O'Neill to be able to get O'Neill in. And that was the first great period, I think, of his ownership at the time. But there's just some interesting details here. Robbie Keane obviously played for Celtic in 2010. He stayed in touch with Desmond when he moved to LA Galaxy, both like-minded in their determination to better Irish football. It was 3 years later when he delivered the compliment about his status, adding, "Dermot is nice." I had dinner with him a few months ago in Washington
I thought it stopped there.
with his son Brett. We were playing a game there.
Brett.
So,
Interesting.
I think that, say it's 6 million and they're like, they don't want to pay 6 million. Is the buyout from Ferencváros Forest the same price? I don't know. I wouldn't say it's impossible that Robbie Keane is a Celtic manager.
I'm so upset if Kieran McKenna, because it's such a good appointment. It just makes so much sense. But where's the Hollywood?
Oh, Kieran McKenna's Hollywood.
You know when I saw this?
No.
Right? When I saw the back page of the Indo,
He's off, bro.
Keane in running for Celtic job, you little flirts. Because my heart went to flutter, and then the first word in the article by Jason Burt is Robbie.
So he did actually meet with Roy back when Roy was the assistant manager to Martin O'Neill. I met Roy with the manager Gordon Strachan a couple of weeks back. That was when they signed him in 2005. And he's a person that would be courteous and that would tell us if he'd made up his mind about going to some other team. So he was obviously involved at that point, to get him to sign. And then apparently he turned down the opportunity to leave Ireland and come and be the Celtic manager at that stage. So that would have been an interesting sliding doors moment in Roy's life as a manager.
I think McKenna would be a very good appointment, possibly the best on offer. But I would like to see Robbie. I'd like to see Roy. I'd like to see Duff.
It would be fairly. It's a strange kind of one, isn't it? Because you're kind of. It's all fairly transactional. Like you're just basically getting the guy in, and if he's any good, he's gone in 2 years. And that is the model. That is the model. Like you literally, you know what I mean? No doubt about it.
Tell me one of the jobs in world football, apart from like the greatest jobs, that aren't that transactional.
Yeah, but it's a weird dynamic where we were you're saying that yesterday. It's like it's not like you can have incremental improvement, or you're like Iraola going into Bournemouth or something. You're like, oh geez, he's really pumping himself up. It's going to be that strange thing where to do that job, you're going to have to dominate. So you're going to have to really have them absolutely humming. They're going to be a brilliant team in their kind of context, and then all of a sudden you leave because you want to take, the Sunderland job. And you're like, it's like what you're happy. You're going to go in and go to Premier League, mid-table mediocrity or whatever else, because it's a weird old dynamic. Come in here, be super successful, hopefully, if you are, and then leave for what seems on the face of it, but obviously isn't a lesser life.
Yeah, it's true.
You're going to leave all this?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I am.
I mean, Neil Lennon went from Celtic to Bolton.
Yeah.
When he was boss.
He burnt out though.
I think it's already been done. I think people have completed Celtic, mate.
Yeah.
I think Ange Postecoglou won everything and won it in style. Brendan Rodgers, he did something unprecedented in his first spell in his first season. They didn't lose a game. They hadn't done that in the 20th
Stephen
century.
Gerrard came in and done it.
Then Stevie G. And then if you really want to go back to the start of this century, Martin O'Neill did all of that and also did really well in Europe.
It's just so hard to know what the success is. Because you're trying to hire someone, I suppose, who can manage for a while. You don't have to keep doing this.
Like, I don't think Brendan Rodgers walked away from this, by the way. I just think that, I look forward to the 25,000 words.
25,000 words
in The Athletic.
I don't even think The Athletic will give him the time of day.
No, they won't. They don't have it. They don't. Do they have it?
No, they probably have someone for Celtic and Rangers just because it'll pump some traffic. But unless they get Rodgers themselves, I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't know.
It's funny because normally the club wishes you the very best, and the statement is terse, and both sides agree that there's going to be silence here. But that was not the case in this instance. That's why it's so weird.
There have been managers who have achieved far less, who have got far nicer send off than Brendan Rodgers.
What's the upside for
what he did over his two spells is great.
Why would he do it?
Well, I suppose there's a man who has to prove nothing to nobody. He doesn't care. He just went by pure instinct there.
Yeah, but because Tom's saying extra, so it's a break in character.
Well, whoever gets this job next, don't think you can complain about anything you want.
Bear in mind, it's not entirely without precedent.
Okay.
Think about, so this again is in the Examiner today in John Fallon's piece. If you remember, there was the situation at Rovers, right?
Yes.
He puts the line together, Celtic is greater than any one person, is how the statement finished. Our focus now is on restoring harmony, strengthening the squad and continuing to build a club worthy of its values, traditions and supporters. But Shamrock Rovers are the other club he holds a stake in, 25% in 2019. He paid $2 million for that. And part of the restructure was Kieran Medler taking over as independent chairman. And then tensions surfaced after that happened, and John Martin ended up being the third chief executive in 7 years. And Desmond blamed the departure of John Martin, who subsequently gone on to get a big job in the FAI, on constant interference. In future, I intend to inform you, the members of Shamrock Rovers, when I become aware of actions taken by individual directors representing you that I believe to be contrary to the best interest of the club. At the next opportunity, I would urge you to carefully consider who is representing your shareholding on the board. So, he's maybe he's got to that stage of life where he's like, I'm just going to tell everybody what I think from now on.
Yeah, I just am interested. Is it purely they're coming under a bit of heat and he wants to deflect it away from them, the fans?
I think if members of his executive team who are going to be around into the future, who he's hired, are getting abuse and their family are getting abuse, and it's because Brendan is like, and you go and you meet him for 3 hours and he's like, oh yes, it's just, just had stuff in the press conference, I needed to say something. He's like, well, that's not good enough. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Will we talk about Shane Dowling?
Oh,
yeah. Have something else there?
Yeah, definitely. The theme of goalkeeping, huh? Before we get into Shane Dowling, right? Well, what do you want to say about him first, right? This is very unprecedented, right? Looking into the history of him as a goalkeeper. 32 when he went into the goal for the first time. Is it the love of the game that brought him back? He'll do any position at all, or does he have an intrigue about goalkeeping? But he could have walked away and never played again, and people would still be fascinated by this guy.
After the injury.
Yeah. He didn't need to do anything ever again.
No, I suppose
2018 feels like it belongs to him.
A little bit like we were having that conversation last week about addiction to the game.
Yeah. With Shane O'Donnell, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And there's some really interesting bits about Shane Dowling in goal, talking about how he get angry standing there watching the play, and he's not an angry person. It's stuff that we're fascinated by to talk to. We have the theme of goalkeeping around this show, you know. Goalkeeping, a thing that we don't really talk about that much. Why is that?
We talk about it all the time.
Why is that? Yeah. Why is that? When's the last time you talked about goalkeeping?
Well, when did we talk about like left backs?
Roll the clip. There's none. That's the way. There's no clip. We've never talked about them, right?
We had like your man David Priest on not that long ago talking about it.
David Priest. I haven't seen or heard from him in years.
He was on. He was great. He was talking about playing there. It's been this season.
This season?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You might not have been here, but he was on.
He was there for that.
He was great.
I don't think I was there for that.
Always talking with keepers, non-stop.
I have a whole note on goalkeepers here. There's so much to say about them, you know.
But he's only a goalkeeper because he just can't play outfield now.
Yeah,
we'll not get it. It's not a. Yeah, he's not found his true calling.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, in some ways, it's he's almost underestimating the position of goalkeeper. Such was the ease with which he's taken to it.
Yeah, it's difficult for these goalkeepers. You know, they can get because you know goalkeepers are always searching for more. You know, they want more. You know, they want to get involved in play. Fabian Barthez, you want to get involved in play. Saw Galway United's goalkeeper Brendan Clark at the weekend. Nearly scored from a free directly last Friday night. Directly went for it. Paul Robinson said went for the free kick, only to be tipped over by Luke Dennison. Now I guarantee you, if Brendan Clark had scored that goal, we'd be talking about a goalkeeper.
If he scores tonight against Shamrock Rovers and stops them winning the league, we'll be talking about it a lot.
8 o'clock tonight, Shamrock Rovers could win the league.
Yeah.
Well, 10 o'clock. That's what a goalkeeper needs to do, you know. And Shane Downey went back there, and it's like, oh, sure, anybody can do this.
Yeah, no, I don't quite.
Anybody can do this. This is easy. It's unbelievable. It's an insult to all these people. I was thinking of this really smooth segue here of talking about San Lemons and Shane Dowling, right? And I had this theory. You'll love this, Arthur. This will energise you like nothing else, right?
I'm very
San Lemons, right? He concedes that goal against Danny Welbeck, that free kick, the weekend. It went right into the centre of goal, roof of the net. And you'll say to me, he started quite well. And you'll agree with that statement, I'm sure. San Lemons has been very solid for United so far, coinciding with United's unprecedented run of form. They've never been this good in 20 months, this 3 in a row run that they're on. However, when he concedes that goal against Danny Welbeck, he should have saved that one, right? And there's a moment right afterwards where Tom Watson, much maligned by Sunderland supporters, of course, got them up, scored the winning goal in the playoff, goes to Brighton, made his debut for Brighton at the weekend.
All right, I didn't realise
United.
Okay. Yeah,
and has a shot in the edge of the box, and Lamond saves it. Now, this is how fickle the role of a goalkeeper is. If that had squirted under Lamond's body and went in, Massimo Taibi.
Oh, straight away.
Massimo Taibi.
Get him out.
This isn't a take.
Cancel him.
You're going to Massimo Taibi. That's what would have happened. He would have been. Everyone would have said, "No, he can't play for United. He can't." Right?
He's Massimo
Taibi.
That's such a mad.
I thought about this at the time.
Scenario.
I have it here. I have it here on my phone. Right. So it has to be true. I have it written down. Taibi got man of the match against Liverpool. Man of the match. But all that anyone remembers about him is Matt Letizia. And he played one more game after that. What was that game? Chelsea. They lost 5-0. He ended up playing 4 games to United. 4 games, that was it. Gone. United paid a pretty penny for him that summer. I think they paid about 5 million. Back in the day when 5 million meant something.
Did he recover?
It meant something to you. He went back to Italy. Went straight back to Italy. I think he was all right after that.
Right.
But I'm telling you, like, that's how, when you're a goalkeeper for Manchester United, look at Onana. Shipped off to Turkey.
Yeah,
never to be seen again.
Onana didn't make one mistake and he was shipped off to Turkey. Onana had like 2 seasons with repeated mistakes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But so that's not the same.
Lamond started very well, very solidly.
Yeah.
The first big howler you have at United. there's question marks like nothing else. And I was sitting there thinking, if that Watson shot had squirted under his body, that was the end of him.
It's not the end of him.
I thought it was the end of him.
No.
I thought he was going to beat Taibbi again. Because why would it be the end of him, right? He comes in, not many people have heard of him.
No.
Comes with a good reputation. No one knows this kid. Still nobody knows this kid. This guy would walk down Grafton Street, walk by him. Yeah. He's the first choice goalkeeper for Manchester United.
Yeah.
He's still on trial for the world, Arthur. He's still on trial. If that had gone under his body, I'm telling you, he was gone.
He's not
but
gone.
It didn't.
But he wouldn't
And
be
I'm
gone.
sure he'll be fine.
Like, Bayindir wasn't gone. He had a lot of mistakes.
Bayindir was never signed as the first choice goalkeeper.
Well, like either, well, like I suppose technically, yeah, if you want, I don't know what if Lemons was either as such, but Onana wasn't gone after one mistake. De Gea wasn't gone after one mistake. All these guys got repeated mistakes. I also would suggest the difference to Taibbi. I'm just looking there, I'm going to check the dates. He was like 28, 29 when he signed.
What age is Lemons?
23.
He's a kid.
Same
Like,
decade.
it's not.
Same decade.
And I also think the whole idea of like, well, if that had gone in, we never was in danger of going in.
Well, that's okay, but I live in this parallel universe where it did go in, and I'm talking about it, right? The David De Gea on his debut, Community Shield, what happened?
Was David Hen on pad for ages?
He was,
A little
yeah.
squirter under the body.
Yeah.
Edin Dzeko.
He got away with it
It does happen, right? Why did he get away with it?
because they spent 30 million on him.
Yeah.
A little kid
Didn't know choice.
comes in,
And he was
physically.
he was a
tiny.
wave.
He was a child. He was a child. Wayne Rooney says this guy's not going to make it at all.
He had won the Europa League.
They let him develop, right?
He had won the Europa League.
I think Lamens, they had won the Europa League.
Yeah.
So he comes in with a bit of renown. Okay. So Taibbi, at the time, everyone was like, who's this guy? They're paying a bit of money for him. He's like, he must be good. Lamens, who's this guy?
No, I don't think
Who's this guy?
They must be good. They were desperate.
This guy is he's good in Belgium there. He made the most saves in Europe. This guy must be good. But we haven't seen him. So we don't know what he's like. You can't tell me that everyone saw
The
him.
only thing I forgot this, because they only signed T because Bosnich got injured.
Yeah, Baza.
Yeah.
But they paid a pretty penny.
It was like 4.5
And
million.
I don't say pretty penny often, but I've
So,
said it for him several times. I'm just saying this parallel universe.
Beware-
So, do you want to go back to Shane Dowling? On
Beware the
this?
squirters is what you're saying.
Careful with squirting, because it will ruin you.
Yeah, I'll go back to Shane Dowling if you want now.
I suppose it's a second retirement. You know, he's gone again. It's the most remarkable return. Like, I'm sure it happened in some.
To Colm's Never Go Back yesterday, even though Brendan Rodgers had an amazing time second one. Back.
Did he?
Yeah, he got the team out of the group stage of
Did
the
he?
Champions
An
League.
amazing time. Because look at him now.
Well, we'll see.
sad.
I think that people forget quickly how things end. Like I was assuming that Duffer is never going to get a job again in football because the way it ends at Shells and the fact that Shells have been brilliant since. But actually, that's not what happens. Everybody's like, oh, I want a bit of that for my club.
Kenny Dalglish went back too.
Limerick lost in Ireland quarter final at Dublin, so, you know.
He wasn't.
Didn't go well.
His
No.
fingerprints are not into that at all.
It's not, no. It's a remarkable story. It's not
even
about
that
it.
the second time, and we can go back to Shane Dowling with this. It's not even the second time is bad. It's that the second time is grand. It's nearly worse.
But I think
Didier Drogba is the ultimate example. His last touch of a football,
But
his
he won
last touch
someone
of the
made this
ball,
point. He came back and he won the league.
first time around,
But he won the league when he
won
came
the
back.
Champions League. Doesn't matter what you do after that. This is the Celtic thing. It does not matter what you do after you kick the ball that wins the Champions League
I know.
in an away game.
If it doesn't matter,
essentially,
then why
against
not do
Bayern.
it?
He came back and he won the league in 2015.
Yeah.
He lives in London as a
Amazing.
millionaire. It's a great time.
Amazing life.
Great time, yeah. But it's the romantic, you know. It's the how many people ended on a high. How many great sports people ended their career
Very few,
on a
yeah.
high?
That's the whole point. It's a big game tonight. Obviously, is Shamrock Rovers 8:00 kickoff against Galway United. They need to just get this done, right?
But if they lose tonight,
it's inevitable.
tonight,
It's inevitable.
The other
It's just
thing that
unbelievable. But
I
the
think
goal
John
difference
Fallon's-
is handsome for him.
the thing John Fallon's right about. Rory Keating played 45 minutes for the Cork under 20s against St. Pat's at Bishopstown on Saturday. There's a possibility they're going to have Seanie Maguire and Rory Keating ready for the FAI Cup final. I think they've played 8 games together since they both signed. Obviously, Keating did his Achilles in April against Derry, and who knows what would have happened. Maybe these two playing together
Oh, man,
would have been.
imagine they had those two and then Carl O'Sullivan.
So there's a good chance that they might actually have them for the FAI Cup final. And in the meantime, we're due a video message from John Temple, who obviously has been issued an ultimatum by his other shareholders in Dundalk about surrendering his shareholding in the club to them. He owns 65%. Kieran Kilduff apparently is in the reckoning for the Waterford gig, even though apparently Dundalk said that he had a contract, but that contract, I don't know if it says, where is it? So we'll see. There's a possibility Cork City could be cup champions.
Hey, listen, buddy, I appreciate your enthusiasm.
And Premier League by the end of the month.
Yeah, I appreciate your
by the end of next month. That'd be an amazing outcome to the season, wouldn't it?
You're intrigued by the cup final particularly.
Well, Shamrock Rovers are in a swoon. It's a proper swoon now. One game, they took their eye off the ball. 2 games, it's grand. 3 games, you're like, oof, form is not great.
No, but they did lose to, they lost to Shells, a very informed Shells, and they went up to Derry.
Yeah, who had everything to play
have
for.
been the bridesmaids for a few years now.
Yeah.
But bridesmaids are essentially part of a wedding, so they're very good.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're losing to mugs here. You know what I mean?
No.
So, but they have the Connacht duo to finish up here, and they got to get something against Galway or Sligo. By the way, the culmination of the league is class because all the games start at the same time this weekend, and there is
half-hour kickoff on Saturday.
Half-hour kickoff for everything, and there's loads to play for.
Treaty United and Bray Wanderers are going to meet in this weekend's First Division promotion playoff final. Bray beat UCD 3-2 at the Carlisle grounds, a 4-2 aggregate win, but Treaty ended up needing extra time at Cove in the second leg of their tie last night to win 2-1. So they'll meet, and then we'll end up playing off against whoever finishes second bottom in the Premier League.
Yeah. I love that format, by the way. The promotion relegation. It's great. It always means that there's something to play for all the time.
And then the only other thing is that we haven't talked about is the rugby, which is on this weekend.
Yeah, it looks like Jack Crowley's going to start.
Yeah.
We'll get DSN's, Darcy McNaughton, Green 15, Team of the Week, and his Ireland team for the aforementioned match.